I'm Cheryl Lindsay, and I run a private practice in speech language pathology, and we do assessment and treatment services for children and adults. I'm from Manitoba, from Winnipeg originally, and after a couple of years of university in Winnipeg, I traveled to North Dakota to pursue my communication disorders degree. And then I became more interested in really being Canadian again. Living in the States is quite different. So I perused the job market in Canada and didn't find anything in Manitoba, which would have been my first choice. And had several opportunities here in Ontario. Lots of interviewing over the phone, and I landed in Hanover. Sugging Business Development helped me at the start, and at first I was working out of my home, so you know how to actually call yourself a business was I didn't know anything about. So Sugging Business Development helped me get that started, and then when I moved the business out of my home, I was renting an office in Durham, and things kind of exploded. So then you're reaching out to other people in the community, other business owners, other people that I was housed in offices with. There are a few other private practitioners in the area, so we kind of lean on each other. None of them were working full-time privately like I was. We have 2 staff here, so working with the staff isn't challenging. We all have the same interest in mind. It's delivering the services to the people in the community. There are some places we're not allowed to deliver service. There's some places that need more service. There's some clients you can't visit in their home, so you've got to find other locations. There's an amount of paperwork surrounding that to make sure that everything is done legally and acceptably to all parties involved. And those things we tend to learn as we go. So if we have a new location or a new client, new syndromes, new diseases, new presentations and severities, we have to meet the needs of those clients. So every client is quite individual, and on that level, I would say that's our biggest challenge. Well, we have just made a large leap forward. As I mentioned before, I was working out of my basement. Moved out of my own home office quite quickly as my children grew. Separating home from business was pretty important to me. And we very quickly outgrew our previous location. So the recent changes have been a very large move to a larger area, to a larger office, and we have expanded more quickly than we can even keep up with. A lesson that I once learned, and it's because I attended a workshop which was conducted by a speech pathologist who was in private practice. She actually said you can only do one thing, and that is leap first and look later. Some businesses may not lend themselves to that, but when you're in the service sector, you jump to the needs of those people first, and then you go, ooh, I should have wrote the form this way. I should have made, this phone call. I should have, could have, would have, right? So I think that actually was good advice for me, to leap first, look later. And we sometimes take a second and a third look at what we've done and recreate that more than once. I think what I like most about my job is that it's diverse, and I had no idea when I entered even university to tackle this career that all of the reasons that somebody could actually need a speech pathologist. So it's the diversity, I think, that drives me.